everyone, welcome back to EdWise Education, Literacy, and Life, and I'm Dr. K. Childs coming to you one more time with another new video. First things first, I want to remind you, if you have not voted for my proposal for South by Southwest EDU, you need to do that. You can do that in a number of ways by finding me on social media and going and finding and clicking the link there. You can also leave a link below this video to where you can vote for me. And you also can go to my webpage and find out information about this great opportunity for me to share my expertise with an innovative and lively audience, all interested in education. So what I will be sharing, I'll just give you a brief amount of what, or just summary of what I'm going to share, looking to share. You can read more details when you click on the link to vote. But the presentation is called Changing the Language Using Social Media and Popular Culture to Teach Traditional Literacy Skills. And so basically that doesn't mean that I feel like language should change or anything like that. I know the term changing the language can get kind of scary, but basically it is discussing how our students have a disconnect between academic language and the language that they're using within their culture, whether it be online, whether it be in their homes, social media, or texting. So that's all I'm going to share. You can go and read the rest of the proposal on the link that I'll put below. Another exciting thing is, along with that, I recently found out that the accompanying article that I wrote up, it will be published in a peer-reviewed journal. And I will be giving you all more information on that. But that's exciting news and some exciting things to look forward to for changing the language in the next few months. I also am going to be doing some research about parent involvement. I'm not going to say a whole lot yet, but I may be reaching out to some of my fellow educators for your input on this kind of a new journey. Not necessarily a new area of interest, but a new area of research that I'm looking at going into. I'm going to try to keep this video short, so without further ado, I'm going to talk about my 2-cent tip from this past Tuesday. And the 2-cent tip, I had one of my followers say that was most important on Instagram, is the one that I posted this week. And it started off with choose your battles. And it says, choose your battles within your classroom setting. Teaching can be very stressful, but oftentimes we focus on issues that make us more stressed than necessary. Use your efforts and energy to focus on relevant and quality learning experiences. And that particular one struck a nerve with one of my followers that commented. If you have other tips that I have posted that have caught your interest or that you think are interesting, let me know on Instagram. But this particular one, I said I've got to do a video about this one. And what I mean by choosing your battles is we can often make things more stressful as classroom teachers. We already have enough stress as it is, but we tend to make things more stressful sometimes with just the smallest situations. So for example, I'm going to use an example from K through 12. A lot of times the big problem that we have is that students don't have a pencil, or they lose their pencil or break their pencil. And it becomes such an issue within our classrooms. And I've seen people go and come up with all these brilliant ideas as far as what we can do to make sure students have a pencil. But to be honest with you, I think we focus too much on small things like that. But that's just my opinion. We need to find solutions to where we are helping build our students up in a manner to which they can solve problems. So for example, instead of implementing some large, crazy, some type of system for pencils, I mean, this is just my opinion. If you have a system, that's not a knock against you. But why not teach our students to know about respecting their belongings, to be responsible with their belongings, as well as if it's a pencil sharpening issue, Teach them when the proper time would be to sharpen their pencil. Teach them about being respectful of whoever is in front of them, whether it's you, a substitute, another student. So that is an example from K through 12. And I'm not even going to get started on the people that are upset because their students ran out of pencils. I want to say this right now. If you need pencils and you have students, or you come to a point where you don't have pencils, please let me know. I will do what I can to make sure your students have pencils. Um, Whatever I can to my best ability. But don't make that an issue. And I've seen people complaining about kids that don't have their supplies. You're stressing yourself out more. Your focus needs to be on your instruction, and also redirect your focus. Stop making yourself more stressed over issues that don't need to be stressed over. Uh, and in the upper grade levels, I teach and have taught at the college level. A big issue is cell phones. A lot of instructors don't like cell phones within their classroom. They are banned for whatever reason. That's their choice. I use cell phones and technology as a tool, so they're not banned, but we talk day one on what's expected with their cell phone, on what's not expected. We talk about respect. We talk about the person being in front of the room. We talk about if they were in your shoes being in front of the room, how would they feel if someone had their phone out texting, or we talked about if you have a cell phone and you have an issue that you need to be respectful and leave the room rather than sitting in the back on your phone being entertained by your phone. We discuss it, the pros and the cons. And to be honest with you, that's the only time we have a conversation about cell phones. I never have to have the conversation again, and it never becomes an issue. Focus on engagement, and focus on the respect piece, and you should be fine. So that's what I meant by choosing your battles. Now, I hope no one is offended by some of the things that I've mentioned as far as policies and things that you do within your room as far as pencils or as far as cell phones. This is just personally me sharing my expertise. And someone said that choosing your own battles was something that was very, very important to them, and a good piece of advice. It came at the right time for them. So that actually is all that I had for this week. The only other thing I want to do is give a shout out this week to all of the people who are here in Texas returning to school. Some of you have already returned this week. Some of you will be starting coming up in this week. And when I say in this week of August 20th. And then also a huge shout out to all of my college students who are beginning their semesters over, whether it be if you're going back for a semester or if you're starting for the very, very first time. Congratulations to those of you who are starting on a new journey in your college career. Lastly, I want to again, I have a couple, probably about 3 to 4 of my former students who are now going to be going into the classroom for the very, very first time in their new jobs as teachers. So good luck to you all. I'm so proud of you all. It's such an exciting time for them. So I want to give them some encouragement as well. Last thing, my math students from Kansas State, it's time to get back to business. We've come a long way. We've got a little bit more ways to go. So college students, teachers that still haven't gone back, there's a couple of you that are still on break until after Labor Day, but I think that's it for this particular video. I want you to stay tuned for one important announcement after this video, and I want you to always remember to teach, lead, and serve. Have an excellent day, everyone. Goodbye. Head on over to Instagram to view my August advice tips for educators who are going back to school this month in my Instagram stories. Thank you for watching.